go ahead and apply your foundation so we can get started. So the very first step is to apply some glue onto your eyebrow to protect it from the latex. Also keep in mind that I am a TikTok cosplayer, you probably know this already, so I'm applying the scar to the wrong side, because as you know, TikTok's camera will mirror. But anyway, now I'm taking a lip liner to map out the scar. Off camera, I took a thin layer of tissue, ripped it apart, applied the latex to my face, and applied a ripped tissue piece to each part. You also want to make sure that the tissue pieces each have ripped edges, and to make this work, I peeled off a thin layer of tissue paper and ripped it apart. You also want to make sure that each time you apply a ripped tissue piece to your scar to where it needs to be, it also has to overlap over the other tissue piece each time. So now I'm applying latex all over the edges of my scar just so it doesn't peel off. All done! Now let's wait for it to dry, and in the meantime do some basic eye makeup. I'm just taking a black eyeshadow to make my eyebrow black. I do some basic contouring because, you know, this is a guy character and the whole basics of guy makeup is that you want to contour, you want to thicken your brows. Another thing I do recommend is that when you're cosplaying guys, I forgot to mention this in my Michael Afton video last week, that when you're cosplaying a guy, do not wear eyeliner. You will look much more masculine if you choose not to wear any eye makeup if you're cosplaying a male character. Like always, male or female, depending on the cosplay, it doesn't matter. Your makeup will always rely on what the character looks like. So the same thing could be said for Zuko and Michael. The similarities is that even if you are going to wear eye makeup, because they're both guys, make the eye makeup really subtle if you choose to wear a little bit of eyeshadow. Like, for example, I wore some eye makeup as Michael, but I didn't overdo it, you know? After the latex dries, the next thing you'll want to do is take some pressing powder or any powder. Clear powder is what I'm using by CoverGirl, and I'm pressing it and applying it to my scar. Now to color the scar, what I'm going to use is cream makeup I bought on Amazon. I'm sorry that you can't see it, but I am applying a peach color. I wouldn't recommend this, but you also don't want to go for any bright red colors. Then I'm going to take this dark brown and I'm going to layer it on top. Again, I was literally at the time looking up on Amazon if they sold the cream makeup from me to morph, which is what I wanted to use because I saw their palette, but I ended up with this. And now I know I'm contradicting what I said, but I don't have that much of variation in my cream color, so I'm using red face paints for the middle of the eye. And here are the finished results of my Zuko makeup. I still have the illusion that my eye looks injured and small, and the crazy thing is, I was originally going to plan to tape my eye to make it look injured, but it looks injured anyway, so I guess I don't need to worry about that. In case it's not obvious, I'm just pretty much explaining my thoughts on how the makeup turns out. I ended up making a flesh-toned flesh color with the scar, so I don't recommend that. I knew what I was doing, but I also knew that I didn't have a lot to work with in regards to my cream contour palette, because I really did look everywhere for the Metamorph cream makeup on Amazon, and they didn't have it, so I ended up with this. But with that said, now I can see what the makeup artist who did the awful Avatar live action movie were trying to do when they did the makeup on Slumdog Millionaire. But anyway, I'm done ranting about how I thought the makeup turns out. I hope this helped you anyway.